Alright guys, it's another cool rainy evening here in Pennsylvania. It is June the 4th. As you can see, we're back on the 430 project here. I got some tubes for the tires, and I also got a carburetor bowl gasket for it. I have a key switch, and I mounted the starter solenoid. And in between part 4 and part 5, I have revisited the starter. I don't know if you guys remember from before, but before the Bendix was jamming up on the starter and it wouldn't engage. I believe it was part 4, perhaps part 3, where it was kind of eminent. I had to engage the starter by hand and that. So what I did is I took the gear and the drive off of one, and I took the spring off another one. As you guys know, I have 3 of these starters, so we'll get that put back on here. But today's agenda is tires. And as you can see, my dinosaur of a jack won't quite go under the hitch, so put some air in the tires and they go flat in about 3 minutes. So I assume they're dry rotten to use new tires, but I don't want to put new tires on it. So we'll go put some air in them just to get the jack under it. Isn't that ironic? The valves down, I'd be really thought. Alright. Here we go. See if my compressor kicks on here. Yeah, it's a dry rot in the side of the tires. So, now I've got the jack under it. Guess we're going to be doing the left tire first, since that's the one to come off the ground. So, get the impact and we'll get it broke off the bead and get a tube put in here. How loose the sub is too, like that. Might have to do something a little bit more drastic to get that off of there. Old lucky ball peen, man. What it is this rim has been painted. There we go. So hopefully, as you guys can see, but tire is already flat. Didn't take too long. Remove the valve core just to make our lives easier. A little bit of air in there. And I have this old school bead breaker here. Works good for car tires. Make sure you guys are in the shot here. Car tires are fair size tractor tires. I can use this on walk behind tires, but it's not near as nice. Okay, hopefully you guys saw that. Yep. One side. You can tell those have been on there for a while. And normally with two fair-sized flathead screwdrivers, you can get the tire off. I have 2.5 screwdrivers. You always want to start on the side opposite of the valve stem. And try not to stab yourself with the tire. And just like that, that was simple. Now, off camera here, I'll take and look around inside, make sure I don't see anything sharp sticking through the tire, like a nail or a thorn or anything like that. Because obviously that'll puncture your tube right away and ruin your fun. So, kind of sporadically check around, but I know in all honesty this tire was dry rotted, didn't have anything in it. So I'll get something and cut the old valve stem out, and then we'll get to putting the tube in and put it back on. That was actually dry rotted too. Get the old valve stem pushed into the tire. Get that fished out of there because that won't help your cause any. And then what I like to do is I like to put the valve stem hole on top. And the other thing I like to do is when you're putting a tube in, I like to put the tube in, put the valve stem through, and I'll put a pair of vice grips on it until you get some air in it. looks like once you get the valve core through. Okay, get the vice grips on, that way it can't slip off. Or slip in, nothing's worse than having to do it twice. Now just work the tube in. One thing I will note is make sure you got the tube away from the upper lip, and then your vice grips are not inside of the tire. And basically just the opposite of what you did to get it off. If you wanted to use some soapy water to make it easier, you could. If I had some available, I would use it, but I don't. Okay, got still in shot. Yep. Okay. All right, put a little bit of air to it. Won't hear anything leaking, so that's a plus. I'm not going to push my luck too far. I'm only going to go about maybe 10 or 15 pounds with this. Okay. So now we got a tire that should hold air. And okay, if you're lucky, the tube won't shoot back in it now. So, now you guys have seen that. I'm going to repeat that for the other side, and then we'll carry on. At least we'll have a nice rolling tractor. And we'll carry on to the electrical system after this. So. Well, Houston, I don't know if we necessarily run into a show-stopping problem, but it is a tire guy's nightmare nonetheless. And you can see the alien-looking blood. Somebody tried to put slime in this tire at one point in time, and obviously that didn't do squat. So, what I'm going to do is just cut the valve stem out and try and put the tube in there without getting any on me, and we'll go from there. I'm going to get some on me. I can already see it coming. And put you guys back on the tripod here, and we'll get over here and show you guys something. Now the set screw was actually loose on this hub. It was not on the other side. But I kind of have a sneaking suspicion somebody's been into this transmission. And you can see all the play in the brake band wood grip. Maybe don't have as much play as I thought it did, but there it is. I don't know if you guys can see, but it has probably about a very good eighth, perhaps quarter-inch of play to it. And that's set by the pin between the two axles and the differential. So the only way to adjust that is to take it apart, take any of the shims out behind the axle housings, and that shims the axles closer together, or vice versa. If it was too tight, take it apart and put more shims in it. So at some point in time, well, that don't really seem too bad right now, but it does have some play to it. I'm going to be pulling the axle housings off of this and more than likely pulling it apart and adjusting that, and at that point I can drain the oil and look inside and see what's going on and everything. But for now I'm going to leave it alone, and I'm going to get this tube put in the tire and get it sitting on all four wheels tonight, and hopefully tomorrow night we'll actually get to either the carburetor bolt gasket or the electrical, see which way I go. I still got to run. I'm going to run new fuel lines and see why the fuel tank isn't fueling. Probably the valve's rusted shut. So anyhow, guys, that'll be it for now. Alrighty, guys. So here we go. There's two tire tubes in there, and like I said, that makes it a whole lot better. At least I can roll it around, or once I throw the starter back on and carb gasket, I can at least drive it around a short distance. Nice thing with this is once you get it started, you don't need a battery, so that's a plus. So that'll be it for, I believe this is part 5. Part 6, I think we're going to dive into the electrical, so I can start it with a key switch. So I think that's what I want to do. I have, I don't know if you guys will be able to see there, but I have a new solenoid mounted. Just need to run some cables. Need to pull the hood off. The camera will focus, and right there beside the starter is a new key switch for it. I think I may have to do a little bit of wire switching, but it is a key switch for a magneto style. But hopefully in part 6 we'll get the electrical on this. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see everybody later. Guess I'm gonna have to find a shift plate somewhere, aren't I? Wonder if I can MacGyver. Later guys.